Hello, my name's Cameron Asgarzadigan and welcome to another episode of Cam's Camera Talk. So there's not really been much that's been out in the cinema over the last month, so naturally they decided to release 6 new releases in the exact same day. Yes, 6. I was looking at all the films and wondering which one I should review, and I saw this one and it's about people who make shitty movies. And I thought, what a coincidence! Who knows more about making shitty videos than the guy you're looking at right now? But you're not here to hear about how shit I am, although that will become painfully apparent during this review. You're here to hear about me and Earl and the dying girl. Here it is. If by chance you saw the films that were released today, you may have been thinking that this was a bit of an odd one to choose from to review, but I'm going to reason with you. The only reason I chose to watch this film is because in the trailer a little black kid offers to fight a cat. That made me chuckle and is literally the only reason why I'm stood here talking about this film right now. Anyway, I'm going to start off with the title of this film, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. And there's no shock that this film is about Greg, a guy called Earl, and a dying girl. It's pretty simple, it's straight to the point. So this is more of an indie film, so it doesn't really conform to the usual filmmaking techniques that Hollywood films do. It has a little bit more flexibility in how it presents its story. I mean, a lot of the times the camera angles that are used are quite bizarre, and the panning and the movement of the camera is strange as well. And a lot of the times it's just completely random. I like that the characters are a lot more grounded than in Hollywood films. They have flaws. They can be a bit of a dick sometimes, but that's okay because all of us can be a bit of a dick sometimes. It was nice to see a film showing us the human side to these characters. In that regard, it makes us relate to the characters a lot more. So basically the main premise of this film in a nutshell is that the main character Greg is sort of forced to befriend the girl called Rachel who has cancer. And of course, in doing so, he builds a friendship with her and blah blah blah. I mean, we've all seen this kind of story before. But not in this way. I guess at the surface this film is probably being classed as a rom-com. But it's not just a rom-com, it's so much more than that. It has so many elements and themes running through it that I don't think it really has a specific audience. I feel that most people can go and watch this film and find something that they enjoy in it. Now, Greg is played by Mann, and you probably may recognise him from Project X. I mean, he's a bit socially awkward, he's a bit of a loner, he tries to keep everyone happy, but deep down at the core he is a good guy. I mean, in Project X we saw that this guy is a comedic actor, but in this film we saw he's more than that. I mean, I like seeing how he reacted to certain situations. I mean, he is an awkward guy. I mean, there's a lot of times when Rachel is talking about being ill and his response is just awful. I mean, it doesn't make anyone feel any better. I mean, our brains struggle to process negativity and we don't always have the best response for things. But I did like Mann's performance. I feel he did capture the character really well. Rachel is played by Olivia Cooke, who, unbeknown to me at the time, is actually a fellow Northern Englander. She's coming from a past of horror films, which is surprising to me because she's really good in this sort of comedic role. I've never seen any of her prior works because I don't tend to watch horror films. It's not because I'm scared of them. I just don't really understand why people would enjoy the genre. But what I do understand is that Olivia Cooke is really good in this film. She really makes you feel for her. Earl is played by Cyler, and when I was looking through this guy's history, I was surprised to see there isn't one. This guy's not really been in anything before, but he sure had me fooled. I mean, it's one of those rare films where pretty much every character is funny in their own way. But the character of Earl is just truly hilarious. He's the guy who offers the cat a fight in the trailer. He's also the kind of guy who breaks an awkward silence by saying things like, "Have you played with those titties yet?" Greg's parents are played by Connie Britton, who starred in Friday Night Lights, and Nick Offerman, who of course stars in Parks and Recreation. Nick Offerman is just a funny guy. In this film he plays a complete lunatic and he was making me laugh every time he was on screen, even when he wasn't really even doing much. But I really liked the relationships between all of the characters that were interacting. I felt they were all really believable and really strong. Obviously the subject matter of this film is cancer, and usually films about this are just sort of 2 hours of just solid depression. And I get it, it's a horrible thing, but this film approaches the situation in more of a light-hearted way. I mean, it is a comedy, and a lot of times it's making you laugh, but then it will make you understand the severity of what's actually happening with these characters, the severity of the situation. I've said this a few times, and in all its randomness, I feel that this film really manages to capture the reality of what this situation would be like for all of these characters. I'd say this film is like a mashup of 50-50 and The Fault in Our Stars. I wasn't as big a fan as The Fault in Our Stars as most people were. I mean, I did enjoy the film, well, as much as you can enjoy a film about two teens being terminally ill. But I just didn't think it was absolutely brilliant like a lot of people did. I mean, in my personal opinion, I did enjoy this film more than The Fault in Our Stars. It made you laugh while still understanding the gravitas of the situation. So if you were someone that really enjoyed The Fault in Our Stars, I'd recommend that you go and watch this film because you will enjoy it. I mean, the problem I have with this film isn't with the actual film itself, it's just how the film was promoted, or the lack of how it was promoted. I mean, in the cinema there's one cutout of the poster for this film. I've not seen any TV adverts for it, or any kind of ads in general, and that's really shit because this is a really good film, and clearly people haven't heard of it because I was the only one in the cinema screening. Literally the only person. Me and about 80 empty seats surrounding me. So if I can even make just one person go and see this film, then I'll consider that a job well done. This film was fun, it was sweet. You're probably never going to hear me describe a film like this again in the future, but what the hell. It was cute. I mean, towards the end it was really hitting me emotionally, I could feel it. So that being said, I am going to give Me and Earl and the Dying Girl a 7 out of 10. But anyway, this film and the rest of the releases today brought up an interesting and annoying point that I feel I need to touch on. I realise that when you click on my videos, you just come here to see a sexy guy talking bullshit for about 6 minutes or so, with very little research done. But I am now going to give you some statistics about this issue that I am going to rant about now. When I pull out the notebook, you know that shit just got real. Anyway, here goes. Straight Outta Compton was released in the US on the 14th of August, and it was released in the UK on the 28th of August. No Escape was released on the 26th of August and was released today in the UK. Dope was released on the 19th of June in the United States and was also released today. American Outtro was released 21st of August in the United States and also released today. Inside Out was released on the 19th of June in the United States and released on the 24th of July in the United Kingdom. The film that I've just reviewed, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, was released on the 12th of June in America and only just found its way to UK cinemas today. John Wick was released on the 24th of October 2014 in the United States and released on the 10th of April in 2015 over here in the United Kingdom. That's 5 months. We live in an age where you can beam shit over the internet in about 12 minutes, where you can send things over continents in a matter of days, and it takes you 5 months to release something from one country to another. Give me a break. Then you cretins complain about piracy and shit. That's spanning from your inadequacies. Don't blame people for trying to watch stuff that you make but are too incapable of releasing worldwide at the same time. That's your fault. And don't get me wrong, it's not always US first and UK second. We got the Avengers a month before the US did. People may make arguments that certain films are only released in certain countries and that you have to bend the schedule a little bit, but that's no excuse. 1 or 2 days, hell, even a week before you release things worldwide. But in this digital age, not releasing things worldwide is going to cost you money. That's just a simple fact of it. Anyway, rant over. Anyway, if you have liked what I've brought for you today, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. Also follow me on Twitter at Cam's Camera Talk. There's a link in the description below. Thank you for watching and I will see you later. Easy, and it follows their story in a really interesting way. I mean, fair enough, all three of them have the same beginning, but it's sort of in the middle.